Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a decree ordering the conscription of 135,000 men for military service between October and December 2025. The order, published by the Kremlin, also provides for the discharge of those who have completed their mandatory terms. The decree expands the draft pool to men up to age 30, following recent legal changes that raised the maximum conscription age. Drafted citizens are now barred from leaving Russia until they report to military offices. Moscow insists the call-up is a routine seasonal rotation, but Western officials say the sheer scale underlines Russia's effort to replenish losses and sustain manpower for the Ukraine war. On the same day, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed the Warsaw Security Forum, warning that Russia is testing NATO with airspace violations and drone strikes.
Almost all security threats in Europe today come from Russia's destructive actions from the war Putin refuses to end. Ukraine proposes to Poland and all our partners to build a joint, truly reliable shield against Russian aerial threats, and this is possible.
Zelensky pressed NATO and the EU to integrate air defenses and prepare for wider conflict. He warned that recent Russian incursions into Poland showed why coordination is urgent.
If we acted in coordination, I think we would have better results. I'm not saying that this is what has to be done. This is what Ukraine suggests. But we must be very serious about these challenges.
But at the United Nations in New York, Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov countered with a sharp warning. He denied Moscow has plans to strike NATO, but vowed that Russia would retaliate against any hostile move.
Any aggression against my country will be met with a decisive response. There should be no doubt about this among those in NATO and the EU, who are not only telling their voters that the war with Russia is inevitable, but also openly talking about preparations for an attack on our Kaliningrad region and other Russian territories.
Lavrov accused the West of spreading provocations, while portraying Russia as acting defensively. He said Moscow sees a desire in Washington for pragmatic cooperation, but warned against risks that could plunge the world into a wider war. With Putin swelling his army, Zelensky urging Europe to treat Russia's war as their own, and Lavrov threatening a decisive response, the divide is hardening. The confrontation is no longer only about Ukraine's sovereignty, it is fast becoming a showdown over the security of Europe itself.